Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Yes, I'm back in town. I'd gone for a break to Cody for a few days to reminisce my old school days with my friends up there after 30 years. It's rather nice to be up in the hill station, especially away from the heat. And of course, catching up with my friends after 30 years was really nice. They're all over the world. And I've invited some of them to come and talk on this channel. And they take it up. You'll see some of them on this. Some of them are in investing, some of them are allied to investing. And we had some really interesting conversations when I met them. And I thought it would be nice if they're willing to come and share their ideas and their views about investing, especially globally. Since we do try to cater to global audience, I thought it would be really nice if I can get them. Anyway, that said, this is the podcast. So Arun has come with some more questions. I'll try to answer them the best I can. And hopefully you'll learn something and we'll keep moving forward. Yes, Arun, what do you have?
So this video is going to be about gold versus dollar. So the year 1971 is the most important year for gold as President Nixon removed the gold standard against the dollar. So what difference did it make? How was it traded before the 1971 and how it is now?
The big problem before 1971, before Nixon uncoupled gold was, the rule was for every dollar being created, so much of physical gold had to be in the reserve. It was pegged to gold. They were tied together. So you wanted to make more dollars, you have to have more gold in your locker.
That means the country's reserves.
Yes. There's a Fort Knox. It's famous in the US, where they've kept all their gold inside. So for every ounce of gold, you can create dollars. So it was tied to that. So number of dollars was restricted. Right? It's like mining Bitcoin. I don't want to compare them. Many people will flare up about it. But for your generation, I'm saying, right? You cannot create currency out of thin air. So it was restricted. So Nixon, what he did is, in a brilliant move, he said everyone's using dollars. No one is buying and trading in gold. Right? Before American dollar became the central reserve currency, gold was like the reserve currency. You needed to actually have gold. It was based on gold. But he said now after World War II, everyone seems to like America. Everyone wants to come to America. American economy is booming. So instead of gold, it's become the dollar. So we don't need gold anymore. Let's remove gold. That removed the anchor which was holding the amount of dollars. Immediately, he removed that and he started printing as much as dollars as he wanted. The main reason why Nixon did it was it had problems with America's facing inflation. And there's a growing trade deficit which was happening. There's a balance in payments. Meaning, US was exporting and importing, right? So the difference is known as a deficit. And this led to what you call more demand on US to pay, and they didn't want to default on that. And also inflation was surging in the US, meaning prices were going up. The purchasing power of the dollar was eroding. So to end all this, dollar gold convertibility he removed. Meaning before that you could go to the bank and give you $1 and say, give me so much gold. So that was removed. So then what happened was more dollars were printed. This tamed inflation down. This helped US with this trade deficit because now US had a lot of dollars in its hand. Right? And there was speculative attacks happening on dollar at the time because everyone thought US is going to collapse because there's lack of confidence in America at the time because the trade deficit and inflation, the way it was going, everyone thought that's it, America is over. So people are betting against the dollar collapsing. So all that also disappeared. Immediately he freed up American economy from being saddled with gold. Now, is this the right thing to do or not? It's a huge debate. Because what has led to that is, it has led to uncontrolled printing of dollar.
So every country followed the same thing. They started printing.
Because US, everyone is using US dollar. If US big brother is doing it, I'll also do it. Or little brothers also do it. Or Europe, everybody. Because you get freedom. It's like cheating, no? If you're allowed to cheat, then everybody will want to cheat. There's no one overlooking saying, no, you do not cheat. So that's why it came like that. So everybody decoupled from gold and world economy took a turn. But the problem is, what has led to this is, before there was control on the amount of money the American government could borrow. Because
America is the richest country, so they'll borrow from IMF and World Bank like that, or
no. America doesn't need. America doesn't borrow from IMF and World Bank. America doesn't need to borrow because they print their own currency. They make treasury bills, and everybody wants to buy American treasury bills.
They borrow from the people.
They borrow from anyone who wants to sell. He creates a note saying, "You buy this for $100, I'll give you so much interest," like a bond. So you buy it. You're giving your money to him, no? So that's how he raises. So this is how they raise more and more funds, and they're borrowing more and more. And the American government's debt ceiling is called, meaning they cap. The American government is the one who's regulating this. They say only so much you should borrow. Tell the president you should borrow more than this. Then he hits that debt ceiling. He borrowed to that much. Now if he is not able to pay all. Yeah, he's supposed to pay and reduce the debt and then keep bouncing in that. If they're not able to do it because spending is required, more and more spending is required. You know how spending is.
Yeah.
And they know they can borrow because they're world reserve currency. They can keep printing as much as they want.
Okay.
So they're printing. Yes, it is a looming crisis in the US. Now from paying $1 trillion interest, now $2 trillion. I mean, it's running. The interest bill itself is running into huge amounts. So where is it going to end? We do not know. How will it end? We do not know. But this kind of borrowing cannot continue. That is why everyone's scared, including Americans are also scared. That what will happen?
Keeping on increasing.
No, it's like, imagine you can keep on borrowing.
There's nobody to ask them.
Yeah, nobody's asking because everyone's using dollar as reserve currency. We're all slaves to the dollar. That will only become a big problem when people don't want US debt anymore. Correct. And right now, American dollar is the only dollar which is the reserve currency for the simple reason you will want to put your money in a place where you can get it back for sure. As an investor, why do you put money into gold? Because if you sell gold, you get your money back. Same way, why do you put your money in dollars? You can always take your dollar and everybody will accept it. Everybody will accept it, and America will always be willing to accept its own dollar. Right? So it's a free, open society. It's a democracy. It's been there for a very long time, and they're a world superpower. So all these things are the main reason American dollar is the reserve currency. Now, which other countries like that? You can say Russia and China. They're big countries, the world power. They're not democracies.
And Japan,
they're not open.
Before 1990s, it was superpower.
Japan, it's not a superpower. Japan is America's slave after what happened in World War II.
Okay.
World War II, Japan was fighting the whole world. America went and destroyed Japan. Then America lent money to Japan to rebuild Japan. Because Japan fell at America's feet and said, sorry, we shouldn't have fought you guys. So America actually invested in Japan and lent money to Japan and rebuilt Japan. Gave technology transfer to Japan. What you see Japan today is because of America lifting Japan up.
Okay.
So they did that. That's another story out here. You can do another video on that. But Japanese yen cannot become the world reserve currency. So when you look at it all that.
Are there any currencies from the Middle East like Saudi?
You tell me a country which is a world superpower, has democracy, rule of law.
Then it is US only.
Yeah. Everyone like to imagine, all Indians like to imagine, hey, we are also world's largest democracy. We have rule of law. Everyone likes rupee. We are the world's largest population, but it's not. I mean, you can talk yourself up, right?
Okay.
Like we all like to imagine we can bat like Dhoni until we face the ball, right? We all think we can take the bat and swing it like a helicopter. When you take the bat and see the weight of the bat, when you try swinging it, when your arm almost flies off, then you realize how strong Dhoni is.
Yes.
So, is it the right thing to do? It was the right thing to do for America at the time. It opened up the dollar and it opened up economy, and now we are here because of that happening. So there will always be a camp of people who will say he shouldn't have done it. There are all the problems we are facing now economically is because of that. There will also be a flip on the other side of the fence who will say it was the right thing to do because all this innovation and everything, growth that has happened is because of that.
Okay.
One thing for sure is we cannot go back. We cannot now say, I'll put gold reserve, tie it back to gold. We cannot do it. And of course, our crypto brothers will argue saying that is why everything is a fiat currency. Fiat currency means the government can do whatever it wants. Bitcoin is a true currency because the government is not involved in it. Right? That only so much can be mined and it's limited. They're trying to make it sound like gold. Is it the future? I don't see it. Till I can see it, then I'll change my mind.
Okay.
I'm always open to changing my mind. I'm always open to saying I'm wrong. You know this about me. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm much as a learner like you are. So I'm learning with you. And if the day comes when someone from crypto world comes and explains it to me, and I'm able to understand it and I believe what they're saying, maybe I'll also say crypto is great. Till that point in time, this is what we have. And this is why gold is important.
So one more question here. We buy gold from shops. So countries also buy gold. From where do they buy?
They can buy from everywhere and anywhere.
Like gold bars only.
It's not sitting in some shop. It has to reach the shop. How is gold made? You should first see.
Yeah.
Right? Like how steel is made. You know how it's made? Iron ore is taken from the mountain.
Yeah.
It is crushed.
It's taken to the steel
Factory.
processing
Yeah, steel
plant,
processing unit.
and ingots.
Ingots of steel they make.
Yeah.
Then that ingots are taken to the steel plant,
Right.
and they make different steel products out of it.
Okay.
Now, gold is also a metal. So how will gold also be made? Similar. You have to mine gold and make gold bars. So these gold bars which you see are the rawest form of like steel ingots. It's a rawest form of gold. So when a country buys gold, it buys, let's say, from, if it has its own ores, gold mines, it has its own, if it doesn't have its own gold, it'll buy from gold manufacturers. Okay, they can buy as many as they want.
Okay.
They'll make gold bars and keep. The guys who are making jewelry will take those bars and make jewelry out of it. The guys who are just going to buy it and store it will buy it and store it.
Okay.
So countries can also buy the gold bars and keep it in their reserve. So that's why even India has a whole bunch of gold. And there's a famous story. When Chandrasekhar was our Prime Minister, India almost defaulted its debt obligations, paying its debt. To secure the debt, India airlifted its gold and moved it to US. To secure its debt and say, we will not default. Here it is.
Okay.
And then we made the payment and the gold was returned to us. So I think in another video, I'll talk about the gold airlift. And to secure the loan from IMF, India did that. And I'll explain what happened in another video.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll talk about this Chandrasekhar story, since you don't know who Chandrasekhar is and what happened to India and why was the reason India gave its gold and the reserves problems we have faced. On another video, we'll talk about it. Something very proud we should be as Indians, that we never have defaulted in our loans. Whoever has lent us money,
we have paid them back.
We have paid them back. And the interest has asked also, we paid them back. Right? Chalo. Thanks for watching the podcast, guys. And we'll see you in another one soon. Bye.
Thank you.